I have in the studio George Kuntu Blankson, and he's a former Member of Parliament for Infantsiman East, and it is, of course, in the Central Region. Thanks for joining me. Your constituency is now
Ekumfi.
Okay. How are you?
By the grace of God, I'm doing good.
And on the front page of the Daily Graphic, we have a story about the National Health Insurance Authority. We're told, according to this very report, that new cards will be issued. And the question we ask is whether the previous 21 million Ghana cedis spent so far has gone waste. And let me just apprise you of what the story says. It says the National Identification Authority has decided to undertake a fresh registration of all Ghanaians under an expanded registration project. And the decision by the governing board of the NIA comes 6 years after the authority began a mass registration exercise. And so far, Ghana has spent some 21 million Ghana cedis. And to implement its plans and make itself self-sufficient, the authority has successfully negotiated a $115 million facility from the Exim Bank of China, which is awaiting cabinet approval. And so the NIA will begin a test run by the beginning of November this year. And these were contained in a document made available to the Daily Graphic. And they go on and on. But the thing is, something has already been done. But we just need to take a critical look about the issue of how critical or important the national identification system is. In a particular country where you have it, it enables you to access a lot of the many things, and it brings the issue of identities of the population in a country under one-stop shop and in one database.
Thank you, Roland Walker. And I have to take this opportunity to say good morning to our listeners in and around and outside the country, and more especially my constituents that I confuse precisely. Roland, when you situate the name itself, National Identification Card, it implies that something that is beneficial to identify you as a citizen. And something that will just give you a color has a lot of values. Because now in our domain, if you want to even do some business or you want to go to bank to access your own money, if for somebody remit you outside the world, come to Ghana and you want to go and access that money, there are certain things that they demand from you, either passport or ID card or identification card. So when you put it in that context, it has a value, which also will give an impetus for the improvement of our economy. Because when I say so, I say it in the manner that when the government wants to do a plan, he will know the number of citizens we have. So upon that, he will use it to, aggregate our GDP or whatever distribution of the national wealth to the people. That is aside. But my worry is that, Roland, what went wrong with the first one with it? Was it properly planned? All factors needed to be accounted for were done? So it's a little bit confusing, because as you and I sit here, most of the detailed factors have not been put there. It's all what is in graphic that we are just trying to digest it and give our opinion on the issue. But I think if something needs to be told the Ghanaians, because the money is Ghanaians' money, it's a taxpayers' money, whether being loan or whatever, it will be incumbent on the people to pay for it through taxes. You understand? So I think they should let us know what went wrong initially that has brought this new dimension. If we got to know, then what they are going to do, wet is salt. Then we Ghanaians also will put our back into it, because we have reached a stage that we need to critically scrutinize every document that comes out of the system, so that we will know. You see, I always say that we must unite as a country and take a basic stand on things that affect the nation. You understand? And avoid things that divide us. But all you know, if this one is not scrutinized with a nationalistic approach and they bring in the political lens into it, it will end up under the carpet and nobody will see anything. Because once you bring NDC, MPP, CPP into this matter, then those people within those groups always will start to protect their image. But as protecting their image against the nation will continue sinking, and we will not get anything valuable out of whatever comes out of the hidden. So I will plead that once we know, they should let us know what went wrong initially, what has brought the new dimension. So what we know, then we'll know what is happening. But as at now, it is a news put out there by Daily Graphic, of which we are trying to give our...
And I'm sure in the coming days we'll get adequate reaction.
Exactly so. So when we get it, then we will sit down and critically and also suggest alternatives that will help. Because, you see, with the identification, it will help this nation to grow better than what we are doing. So it's something that everybody must be concerned about it.
If you go to many countries, in respect of even making purchases, supposing you enter temporarily, you get to see that the national database for the identity of the country is represented in every shop. That's a notable shop in accessible areas of the country or the economy. How has that helped other countries to grow, and how can we also replicate that?
You see, Roland, like I said earlier on, that it has enormous value. For example, there are so many countries they give social reliefs to their people. It's based on this identification, because if you know the population, number that you have in the country, then upon that you will distribute the national wealth according to them. You got what I mean? So that even there are people unemployed, they have unemployed benefit. When you go to US, when you go to UK, why is that one going on there? Because of they know the normal people they live in the country. So the surplus is divided among those unemployed, so that they also can get a social benefit, so that they will feel part of the nation. You understand? But here we are. We don't have it. We don't know the number of people we have. Always we do it a percentage. So we have around will not help. Once you say around, you always go around. You understand? But when you say exact, Ghana, we are this, then confidently, you know that you have this. So whatever you are doing, whatever program or whatever strategy or you are applying or policy you are planning for the people, you go according to the nomenclature. Then you're exactly there.
Perhaps this was started about 6 years ago. Have we, in a way, delayed as far as the adequate implementation of the whole exercise? Especially also considering the fact that even the president has even given the ultimatum to the various municipal districts as well as the various metropolitan agencies to make sure that they undertake street naming exercise or project before the close of September, I believe, or October. And just to make sure that identification, just like the way we will have it for a card, is also made possible.
Well, when you look at it, it's long overdue. It's delayed. Because if it's not delayed, the president, for that matter, will not give an ultimatum that I want this thing to be done in this way. You see, in link with identification with the street naming, it moves in tandem, because that will help you to know number of people who live in a community. So if you want to send potable water to the place, you should know the number of people, and you just program it with progressive manner, so you know that it will not be stagnant. If you have 20 people, maybe the next 2 years, as we give birth, the number will increase, so that always you make adjustment and make sure that the people's needs are felt and are attended to. You understand? So with long overdue of this identification, it's also hampering or affecting our both political and economical and social development.
Especially for tax collection purposes and for postal services and getting access to people's homes, etc.
So it will be very good, and it will also help the economy to develop, knowing number of people in the country and what they do for themselves on a tax basis. If you know number of people, you'll be able to go with, because on the card, there will be indication what do you do. If you could be able to identify unemployed number that we have in this country, as well as employed people, as well as, those married, all these issues are there. It will help us. You understand? So that we will not spend money that if you're okay, we want to know number of Christians in this country, then we'll go and budget another budget for it. But with this identification, you will be able to program it and know which religion somebody, belongs to.
Somebody is doing, where somebody is living,
exactly so.
etc.
So it will help the government to put its budget in shape.